At the start of the year, I decided that I would be listening to 50 new albums in 2020, as well as revisiting several others I had listened to in the past but hadn't gotten a chance to hear again. Once I had finished my list of the former, I went to a random number generator to find what my first new album of the year would be. The album, as you may have guessed, ended up being Sophie's Oil of Every Pearl's on Insides, which I listened to and immediately became fascinated by. What she had created was so new, so bold, so different. I didn't know what to think. Quickly, I went down a rabbit hole, spending hours and hours reading her Wikipedia pages as well as associated acts pages, watching other video essays that had to do with her, listening to her EP and singles, watching her music videos, adding her album to my wall, pleading my friends to listen to her, researching hyperpop and PC music, watching others' reviews of her work, and I became invested and intrigued in her music and persona. And then, she died 10 days later. To understand how revolutionary Sophie was, we must first understand what hyperpop and PC music are. Hyperpop is a subgenre of pop music where nearly everything is exaggerated to the nth degree. It often includes high-pitched vocals, booming bass, and pitch-shifted synthesizers. It often draws elements from genres such as hip-hop, electronic, and dance music. It is also deeply connected with a music label known as personal computer music, or PC music, which Sophie, as well as other hyperpop acts such as Charlie XCX and Kim Petras, are associated with. Sophie's debut single arrived in 2013 and is titled Nothing More to Say. It's a bright track aided by some stellar wobbling synthesizers and lively percussion. Her follow-up single, Bip, was released that year as well. Following the releases, controversy surrounded her gender identity until she came out as a transgender woman in 2017. Over the years, she became a transgender icon of sorts in the music community. In 2014 and 2015, she released her next two songs, Lemonade and Hard, both of which earned critical success, placing in several publications' top 10 lists, praise for their simultaneously dark and bright nature. With Andrew Garrick of Pitchfork describing Lemonade, like clowns with sharp teeth and wolves wearing bonnets, the listener is inured to the deviants. Following collaborations with pop stars like Charlie XCX and Madonna, Sophie released her debut EP, Product. Product was a bold and avant-garde body of work, like nothing else at the time of release. However, it was her debut album, Oil of Every Pearl's on Insides, that cemented Sophie as an increasingly influential and important artist in the pop music scene. The production on the record is abrasive and difficult to get used to. It never caters to the audience. Sometimes sounding like this. And other times sounding like this. There's a 9-minute track on it. There's a 6-minute song consisting only of droning noises and ripping sounds. It's produced in a raw and human way. The tracklist critiques beauty standards and consumerism and deals with topics such as identity and self-exploration. The album also offers some of the best songs in all of hyperpop, like the hard-hitting, heart-pounding Immaterial and the bass-boosted, lyrically poignant Face Shopping. Sophie made history when she became one of the first openly transgender women to be nominated for a Grammy, and continued to work with artists like Vince Staples and Lady Gaga. She was also the first strictly hyperpop artist to be nominated for a Grammy, representing a turning point in the critical and widespread recognition of the genre. Soon, she came to represent the genre behind the scenes, pioneering its defining sound. Despite having little commercial success as a standalone artist, she was extremely influential and paved the way for many of today's hyperpop acts, such as Rina Sawayama and 100 Gex. Whether you realize it or not, you surely heard the impact she's had on the industry. When many people think about pop music, what do they think of? They think of Ariana Grande, Shawn Mendes, Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, Selena Gomez. And that's true. Those are very successful and well-known pop acts, some of which I really like very much. But Sophie proved that the pop genre has no boundaries. Sophie kept pop interesting even when it wasn't her best work. She breathed a life into it that so few have ever done before. Music is limitless, and Sophie embraced this with her jarring sound effects and production styles. She essentially engineered a genre of music with the help of a few collaborators. She's tragically no longer with us, but her legacy will be for years to come.